class, I am Lovely Figuracion, and now let's talk about music, arts, and or vocal. So first, here are the learning objectives. So first, students will demonstrate proper breath control and vocal placement to produce a clear and supported vocal tone. Second, discuss of song lyrics and meaning, exploration of different vocal dynamics, practice in phrasing and articulation. And last, evaluate of expressive qualities in student performances, considering dynamics, phrasing, and emotional connection. So what is music DI class? So music comes from the Greek word mosaic or musik, which means the art of muses or Moses. Music is an art form that uses sound organized in time. It combines melody, harmony, rhythm, and timbre to create compositions that can evoke emotions, tell stories, or simply be enjoyed for their aesthetic qualities. So now let's proceed to elements of music arts. So the elements of music arts are the essential components that define and distinguish musical pieces. A commonly used list includes rhythm, the beat, melody, the tone, harmony, the chords, timbre, the sound's quality, dynamics, loudness or softness, texture, how many layers of sound, and form the structure of the music. By learning these elements, you can better understand how music works and enjoy it more deeply and even create your own music in any style or culture. So, di ba kung unsa ato ang ang gingon dito ganina nga it can evoke emotions, tell stories, or simply by enjoy it for the aesthetic qualities kay di ba kung unsa atong emotion like kung sakitan ta makabuhat ta og music nya kung happy ta makabuhat pud tag music. So, kung unsa atong na-feel, so pwede na to siya mapagawas through music sa pagkanta. And now, let's talk about rhythm. So, rhythm is the pattern of movement and time in the backbone of a composition. It includes beat, tempo, meter, and rhythmic patterns. Beat is the pulse of the music. Tempo is the speed of the beat, and meter involves grouping beats into patterns. So, rhythm is part of music that deals with time. It makes what makes you feel the beat or want to tap to your foot. So, rhythm holds the music together like a backbone. So, beat is a steady pulse you fit in a song. And tempo is how fast or slow the beat is. And meter is how the beats are grouped, like counting like 1, 2, 3, 4 or 1, 2, 3. And rhythmic patterns are the different ways beats are arranged to create interesting rhythms. In short, rhythm is how music moves through time and gives the song its groove or flow. And next, we have melody. A melody is a coherent succession of pitches that form a recognizable tone or theme. It is often the most prominent and memorable aspect of a musical composition. So, melodies are created using scales, which are patterns of notes that provide a framework for creating comfortable and familiar sounds. So, a melody is a part of music that you can hum or sing. The main tone you remember. It's made of a series of notes played one after another in a way of sounds connected and pleasant. So, melodies are built from scales, which are sets of notes that go together nicely. These scales help musicians create tones that sound familiar and comfortable to the listener. In short, the melody, the main tone made from notes, follow a pattern or scale, and it's usually the part you remember most in a song.
Good day everyone, I am Caitlin Calzo, and in this video I will explain the harmony, timbre, dynamics, texture, and form in music. So first is harmony. So harmony refers to the relationship of pitches as they sound simultaneously. It involves intervals, 2 notes sounded at once and chords, 3 or more notes sounded at once, creating a musical mood through the interaction of these elements. So, ang harmony is the relationship of pitches. It is the combination of notes played or sung at the same time. 2 or more notes heard together. So this can be created by different instrument or voices, or by one person playing multiple notes on an instrument. So harmony is used to enrich the melody and to communicate our feeling. Like kanang ma-feel jud nato ang music. So consonant harmonies sound pleasant, while ang dissonant harmonies create tension. Like kanang medyo bati siya paminawan. Next is timbre. So timbre, also known as tone color. It is the unique quality of sound that distinguishes it from others, determined by the instrument or voice producing the sound, its overtones and articulation. So ang timbre is the unique quality of sound that distinguishes it from others, determined by the instrument or voice nga nag-produce sa sound. Like for example, imong parents and friends or imong teacher say the same word in the same pitch, but still you can distinguish or makailak gihapon ka sa kalainan sa ilahang voices. Like makaingon ka nga, ay sa ako tong mama nga tingog, or sa ako tong amiga nga tingog. It's because everyone's voice has its own timbre, just like everyone has their own fingerprint. So another example is the violin cover and guitar cover of the music A Thousand Years by Christina Perry. So diba sa violin cover sa music nga Thousand Years ug sa guitar cover kay mailhan nimo ang kalahian sa tingog sa duha ka instrument nga gigamit sa usa ka music. So next is dynamics. So dynamics relate to the degrees of loudness in music. They are described using Italian terms such as piano or soft, forte or loud, crescendo or gradually loudening, and diminuendo, gradually softening. So ang dynamics mo ang volume or ang kakusgon or kahinayon sa music. Composers use a system of Italian terms such as piano, which is soft or hinay, forte or loud, kusog-kusog nga volume, crescendo, gradually loudening or kusog nga volume or ni-increase, and diminuendo, gradually softening, nag-anam og kahinay or decrescendo, ni decrease. So dynamic in music are very important because they add a lot of emotion to a piece of music. So next is texture. Texture is the pattern of sound created by the interaction of musical voices. Types of texture include monophony, a single line of music, homophony, a melody with accompaniment, and polyphony, multiple independent melody lines played simultaneously. So musical textures refers to how different layers of a piece of music are combined para ma-produce ang overall sound. It also refers how thick or thin music sound is. So, nine types of texture and music includes monophony, a single line of music. Monophony is from the Greek word monophonic, which means one sound. Example of monophonic music is ang performance of Debussy's Syrinx for solo flute. So, only flute lang ang gamit to produce music. So, you can watch this performance in YouTube. Next type is homophony, a melody with accompaniment. So, homophony comes from the Greek word homophonic, which means same sounding. So, as you see the diagram, that an accompaniment or the green shading has become added underneath the melody. So, the melody is the blue line to form a homophonic texture. So, that's homophonic texture. Example is the version of Silent Night by the a cappella group Pentatonix. So you can watch this version in the YouTube. You can search this in YouTube. So kaning version, each of the voices change note at the same time. So you can still clearly hear the melody line being sung, but the different voices are singing in harmony to produce a chordal accompaniment. So next is polyphony texture. So polyphony texture comes from the Greek word polyphonic, which means many sounds. So as you can see the diagram of a polyphonic texture, the different parts waving in and out as they perform distinct melodic lines that combine to create the overall sound. So example of polyphony is the O Magnum Mysterium by Thomas Louis de Victoria. So kanisha is must search, or you can watch this on YouTube. As you can see in the screen, the shaded lines show clearly where the different parts enter. So each voice has a clear melody line that it follows, but they are all have been cleverly put together to form a coherent and beautiful piece of music. So lastly is form. So form refers to the structure and organization of musical composition. It includes elements such as sections, phrases, and repetition. So common musical forms include verse, chorus, binary, and cyclic form. So, musical form is the structure or arrangement sa music, showing how its different parts are organized from beginning to end. So, from verse 1, chorus, another verse na sad, and repeat. So, it's a cyclic form. So, from the word cycle. So, kabalik-balik. And that's all. Thank you.
Principles of music art. The principles of music encompass a range of concepts that govern how music composed, performed, and perceived. These principles include unity, variety, balanced proportion, emphasis, and coherence. Understanding these principles helps musicians create compelling and well-structured composition. The principles of music arts kay kanang nagtudlo kung unsaon pag align or kanang pagpatugtog sa mga kuan instrument, and then the way sa ilahang lyrics bitaw is sakto ilahang pagbuhat, and then naa sa dira ang kanang pagkahiusa, unity, and then napod dira ang kanang mga nagkalain-laing mga kanaganing kuan, nagkalain-laing mga opinion nila ba kung sakto ba na siya nga pag-align sa lyrics, and then ilaha pong kanang pagtugtog bitaw sa kanang using an instrument sakto basad, and then mabalance po sa ilahang i-create na lyrics. Makatabang na siya para kanang ma-enhance bitaw imong pagka-musicians, and kuan jud siya balay iyahang pag-create sa music is kuan gani smooth. Medium of music. There are two types of medium of music. First, vocal music. Vocal music is the oldest and most natural form of music. So, ang vocal music di ay kay mo ni siya ang kanang natural nga form of music kay ato aramang tingog bitaw ang ato ang gigamit. So, without kuan ra siya without instrument. And then second, instrumental music. Aside from voice, instruments are the other medium in producing music. So, sa vocal music kay, di ba ato atong original nga kanang tingog. And then sa instrument kay, mo na ni siya ang ato ang ginagamit nga naay mo background sa ato ay kanta. So, mo ni siya ang instrumental music.
Good morning, class. I am your teacher for today's day. So let me introduce myself. So I am Charles and Malayon. Today we will have a new discussion. So today our topic is talks about correct positioning of the body. First is correct posture. So correct posture is maintaining an upright and balanced alignment. This allows for optimal breath control, vocal resonance, and stage presence. So the correct posture is dapat stand straight, head to foot. Para when you sing, it can give a right to control your voice. This posture can give you a confidence to song with pride. If magbakho imong posture na ay tendency nga dili ka makakonsentrate sa imong pagkanta, dapat correct posture is stand straight and comfortable sad ka sa imong posture. And now mo proceed ta sa second. Ang second is correct breathing. So ang kining correct breathing is utilizing diaphragmatic breathing techniques to support vocal production. This ensures a steady airflow, prevents local strain, and enhances vocal power. The diaphragm helps us to have a voice. This is a technique to all performers and singers to sing a nice voices. If you will sing, first do is inhale and exhale to breathe with a calm. Para ma-ensure nimo ang steady sa imong airflow, don't drink cold water and take a rest also. When you sing, ayaw palabi sa mga high notes kay na ay tendency magsakit imong diaphragm. So now let's proceed to number 3. Correct placements of the voice. Correct placement of the voice, focusing the sound in the optimal resonating cavities. The voice is produced in a way that maximizes projections and minimizes strain. Correct placements of the voice is one of the strategy sa pagginhawa gamit ang atong diaphragm. Kaning diaphragm is mo-support ni siya sa atong tingog or voice. Ang atong tingog o atong ginhawa kay magamit nato og para ma-minimize og maprotektahan ang atong kakapoy sa atong or sa pagkakapoy sa pagkanta. So now let's proceed to number 4. Correct diction. So correct diction is pronouncing words clearly and accurately. This ensures that the message is easily to understood by the audience. Class, inig kanta nato, dapat dahil pronounce natog tarong ang mga words para dali masabtan sa atong mga audience. Mauna ang correct diction. Nasabtan na ba mga students? Okay. And now let's proceed to number 5, correct interpretation. So, the correct interpretation is conveying the intended emotion and meaning of the text or music. This involves understanding the context, narrative, and subtext of the material. Kahibalo ba mo, class? Ang kaning correct interpretation is one of the important in singing to convey your audience. Dapat when you sing, dapat na emotion imong pagkanta para mas makasabot sila nga unsay angay ipasabot sa kanta. So to the class, we are done and correct positioning of the body. So now on, let's move on to classifications of vocal music. Number 1. Long vocal forms. These are extended musical compositions for voice, often telling a story or exploring complex emotions. Examples include operas, oratorios, cantatas, and song cycles. Ang long vocal forms ang pinakataas or high notes. Na mga songs, sometimes kini ang long vocal forms is telling a story with a mixed emotions. Like itong mga opera, di ba? I told you the example like operas, oratorios, and cantatas, o mga song lyrics. Ano siya, mga taas na vocals. We are done in number 1. So let's proceed to number 2. The number 2 is short vocal forms. So short vocal forms, these are concise vocal pieces that can be focusing in a single idea or emotion. Examples include art songs, folk songs, hymns, and anthems. Ang short vocal forms ang pinakamubo nga kind of vocal pieces. Typically, pariharasan ni sila sa long vocal forms kay naapod siya single idea or emotion. Ang kaning short vocal forms is katong national hymn like Bayang Magiliw. Wala ang anthems na to. Then, sa dahil mga art songs, like kaning nice book siyang art songs and folk songs, muna siya mga songs na mga short na vocal forms. Then sa mga long vocal forms, kanina mga high notes like itong di na to kayo kaya dita ka mo. So, class, thank you for listening me and for your cooperation. See you in next meeting. Goodbye.
So, good morning everyone. My name is Cyril May Priscillas. So, let's proceed to classification of vocal music. Long vocal forms. First is the opera. It is a drama set music with action, costumes, and scenery. It is a theatrical play where all the dialogue is sung accompanied by an orchestra and features elaborate costumes and scenery and action. So, the example of this is the Nole Me Tangere by Felipe Padilla de Leon. So, ang opera di ay is kana siyang naas ang stage play nga mag-acting, but ang ilahang dialogue is kanang a form of music, like isang nila ang ilahang mga dialogue. So, the second one is cantata, a story told in music without action. It is smaller version of the oratorio and may be secular or religious. Cantata is a musical piece for singers and accompaniment, usually divided into several movements. It tells a story, but it is presented in a concert setting without acting or costumes and can be religious or secular. The example of cantata is the J.S. Bach composed over 200 sacred cantatas. So, ang cantata is kanang pwede siya nga matawag na to nga choir sa simbahan. Mao ni siya ang usually good nga makita na to nga nagkuan sa kantata. Next is the oratorio. Oratorio is a form of dramatic music based on a biblical stories. It is performed in concert style without costume, scenery, or action. Unsa may kalahian aning oratorio and cantata? So the main difference is that an oratorio is a large-scale dramatic work, often religious, performed in a concert setting without costumes or acting, while a cantata is typical, shorter, and was often performed as part of a church service. So, ang oratorio is kaning naa siya sa concert, nasa sa stage, and daghan ni ang mag-perform aning oratorio, and kanang naa sila naay mag-narrate nila para ma-deliver og tarong ang ilahang gising. Let's proceed to Moro Moro. Moro Moro is a Philippine drama set to music that depicts Christian conflict. So Moro Moro is a traditional Philippine folk drama, also called komedia, that dramatizes the historical conflicts and forbidden love stories between Christian and Muslim characters. It is usually with the Christians as the heroes. It incorporates music, dance, and elaborate costumes, and it is typically performed in villages during religious festivals. So kaning Moro Moro is nara ni siya sa Philippines. And makita ni nato ang Moro Moro usually kanang naa sa kung naay pista, and naay mag-perform og Moro Moro sa kanang naara sa village nga makita nato. And kaning Moro Moro is nag-perform siya sa kanang sa history nga pag-away sa mga Christians and mga Muslim. And also ang kaning Moro Moro kay naa ni siya kanang sayaw and elaborate costumes, like mag-costumes pod sila sa katong mga Christians and mga Muslims. So the last one is the Sarsuela. Sarsuela is the Philippine drama set to music that is similar to the opera. A Spanish-influenced Philippine musical play or operetta that is similar to opera but generally lighter in tone and incorporates both sung and spoken dialogue. So the stories often depict everyday life and social issues, unlike the more historical themes of many Moro Moro plays. So the well-known example of Sarsuela is the Walang Sugat by Severino Reyes and ang Kiri by Florentino Collantes. So ang kaning Sarsuela is kanang na-influence ni nato sa Spaniards, and ang kaning Sarsuela is lighter tone and incorporates both sung and spoken. So ang katong opera kay sang ra gid siya, like sing ra gid siya, and kaning Sarsuela is naapod siya spoken dialogue. And ang theme aning Sarsuela kay mga everyday ra nato nga panghitabo, like kanang social issues.
Good day everyone. So I am Jayan Gorgonia. So now let's move on to the next topic, which is classification of vocal music, short vocal music. So let's start from the first one, which is folk songs. So ang kaning folk songs is muna siya ang traditional nga kanta sa karaang panahon. Ang kaning nga kanta is nagpakita ni siya ang tradisyon and kultura sa usa ka lugar. And also ang kaning folk songs is ang karaan ni nga kanta nga nagsaysay sa kinabuhi, kultura o kasinatian sa usa ka tawo. So ang example niya is kanang work songs and regional songs. Next is art songs. So ang art songs is muna ang mga formal nga songs na gihimo sa mga edukado nga musikero. So these songs focuses on expressing emotions. So ang kaning art songs is naani siya hindot na melody and deep meanings. Next is kundiman. So ang kundiman usa sa traditional Filipino love song that express serious heartfelt emotions about love, longing, or devotion. So ang iyang melody ani is hinay or yaya and smooth. Next is ballad. So kaning nga song is to express our thoughts and feelings. For example, ang atubang kanta is about gugma, kasakit, or panghitabo sa kinabuhi. So ang iyang melody ani is dali ra jud nato masabtan or dali ra jud nato matiman-an. Next is anthem. Anthem is a song of praise or devotion. Usually gamiton na ni siya for important events to show unity and patriotism. So example, gamiton ni siya sa national anthem or school hymns. So the last one is choral. So ang choral is kasagaran gamiton ni siya sa usa ka grupo or choir. Nanis nila lighting nga gigamit, which is soprano, alto, tenor, and bass. Usually gamiton ni sila for church services and choir performances. And that's all, everyone. Thank you for listening.
Good day everyone. Today I'm going to report about voice classification. So voice classification is a system used to group singing voices based on the range, tone quality, and pitch. It helps in choosing suitable songs for singers and organizing voices in choirs or musical performances. Voices are carefully divided into women's voices and men's voices, with each group having different types. So, ang voice classifications ay mas siyang nakatabang sa mga singers para makapili sila og mga song choices nga suitable jud para sa ilaha. Then, ang voice classification was divided into two, which is women's voices and men's voices. So, women's voices are the generally higher in pitch. 1. Soprano. Soprano is the highest female voice. It can sing very high notes with lights and bright qualities. So, ang soprano mo na siya pinakataas nga tingog sa mga babay. Then, limpyo sad siya og kanang gaan ra gani siya nga kanang voice. Then, first, coloratura soprano. Coloratura soprano, the highest and lightest type, capable of fast, very high notes. So, ang kaning coloratura soprano, mao na siya ang pinakataas ug pinakagaan sa tanan nga tingog. Mao sad niya siya ang kanang kuan nga kanang paspas o kanang mao sad ni sila ang tao nga kanang kaya gani mo kanta og kanang taas og kanang paspas nga mga nota. Then, mezzo soprano. Mezzo soprano is a medium-high range, slightly lower, fullest than soprano. So, medyo soprano mo ni siya ang kanang katamtamang taas, dili ka siya taas, kanang medyo ubos siya kaysa sa soprano. Next is the lyric soprano. Lyric soprano, less high but has smooth, flute-like sound. So, ang kaning lyric soprano, dili ka siya taas, pero kanang kuan gani siya kanang malambot siya ba kanang kuan kay siya paminawon kay more siya tunog flute. Letter B is alto o contralto. So alto or contralto, the lowest female voice. It has deep, rich, and warm sound after open song harmony parts in choirs. So ang alto kuno pinakaubos na jud ni siya nga tingog sa mga babay. Pero lawom siya makapal og kanang init nga sounds. So, sila ni ang kanang permi mukanta sa kanang harmony sa choir. Number 2 is men's voice. So, ang men's voice, mao ni sila ang pinaka-ubos nga tingog kaysa sa babae. A is tenor. Tenor is the highest male voice. It has a bright and ringing tone, often singing melody lines in male vocal group. So, ang tenor, mo ni siya ang pinakataas na tingog sa lalaki. Limpyo siya og usog nga tingog. Sila ni ang kasagarang mukuha og melody or kanang kinaunhang linya sa mga songs. Letter B is baritone. Letter B is baritone. So, baritone is the middle male voice. It lies between tenor and bass and is the most common male voice type. So, ang baritone, mo ni siya ang naasa tunga sa tenor or sa bass na tingog. Ang mao ni sad ni siya ang kanang mga pangkaraniwang uri ng boses sa lalaki. So, mao ni siya ang mga known na siya nga tingog sa laki. Letter C is bass. Ito, bass is the lowest male voice. So, ang bass mao ni ang pinaka ubos, pinakalawom, ug pinakabugat nga tingog sa mga lalaki. So, that's all. Thank you.